How's it going? Hi, hello everyone. Another shoe review for you by Broccoli. Welcome back, Pineapple Leaf. Today we're going to be doing a very special shoe review on the Novablast 5. I have officially gotten everything kind of thrown down into these shoes, and here I am to report my findings. And yes, they are cleaned them earlier. But these Asics Novablast 5, I can assuredly, with confidence, compare to the last two versions I've had of the Novablast 4 and 3. This one is more soft, but it gives back more energy return from what I've felt in the last two versions. I feel like the last version was nowhere near as versatile as this one. A little too, just not enough energy return and daily training softness as I probably would prefer into a shoe like this. First and foremost, I want to get into the most important stats of this, which is for this daily trainer category, 41.5 stack height millimeters in the back rear heel of this shoe to 33.5 in the forefoot, giving it an 8mm drop. Pretty aggressive rocker, which gives you a really nice, a little bit more of aggressive rocker from heel to toe to propel you forward. And what I could say compared to the last version of this is the midfoot foam is different in the Novablast 5 compared to the 4. It's got FF Blast Max Turbo. It's got FF Max Blast in the midfoot is the main difference here. So they have given this a little more stack height. They've made it a little softer, and they've changed the midfoot foam to the FF Blast and to the FF Blast Max. And the thing that is most noticeable in this is just how fun and lively these are on just your overall pace in your runs. I always feel like I'm running 10 to 15 seconds faster than I really feel. When I look at my watch and I feel like I'm running a certain pace, I look down and I'm actually going 10 to 15 seconds faster in these than I would have thought compared to how my body feels sometimes. So I just feel like the overall pace in these for a daily trainer that is really protective, nice, comfortable, cushioned, high stack height in the rear compared to other shoes is just really impressive what they've done with this shoe. So far, I love doing everything in these shoes, from strides to just overall maybe pace pushing in these for a daily pair to just easy miles and even long runs. I'll have to put this up right now on from my Strava. I did take this and test it out, I think right out of the gates with a 2-hour long run, a 2+ hour long run right here. And my legs, I still felt like I wasn't energy zapped at all during that run. I felt like I really could just keep running mileage in these and keep pushing it. And it gave me that feeling after a good quality session long run where I wasn't doing anything crazy as a workout, but it was a good quality miles long run. What I can say is that these can do everything in your daily training from your daily training to hitting your long runs, which I usually use the Asics Superblast 1 and 2 for, is like almost specifically my long run shoe. I'm now using my original Superblast, which almost have 400 miles on them. As daily trainers, I'm using those quite a bit for those, just to wear them out, get them to at least 400 miles. They still feel pretty solid. I might be feeling some aches and pains as I'm running in them, but yeah. So now the Superblast 2 is kind of taken over specifically for the long run, and I'll use those on some shorter daily training miles. But as a daily trainer, where I'm getting some good quality daily training miles, throwing in strides. I even threw in 2 sprints with these, and these can handle pretty much every single thing I can throw at them, to where they just feel really bouncy, springy for something that is intended to be
A non-plated carbon shoe for only $140.
softer, which it is. It's not so soft that you feel like you're, not you're getting mushy energy zapping squish, like as if you're running on like a water bed or something. This would be like running on, let's say, a water bed with spring water. Also, hence the colorway, which is another one of my favorite things about it is I really love this teal colorway. You gotta feel the teal. This bluish green. The colorway is
Wave, teal, and black.
So yeah, from sprints to strides to pushing the pace a little more up tempo on my daily training miles when I'm feeling better, to hitting my 10 to 20% rule. Like if I'm to my long runs where I'm hitting over 2 hours in these, and I don't feel like my legs don't feel like they have those niggles, those little injuries that are creeping in. Because after your long runs, once you get to a certain point in your marathon training or whatever other kind of training, you don't want to run to exhaustion. You always want to kind of feel like you can at least do 1 to 2 more strides more in a workout, like whether it's like a workout with strides or sprints or repeats, intervals. And that's how I felt on that long run, is I didn't feel so taxed that I didn't have anything else left to give to the lords of the lands. My shillings pittance, help me, I'm poor. Them and their passive income parasites that don't create anything. They don't build the places, they don't do any of the work, they just take the money, the rent, and they just put it in the bank. What a hard job. Really hard job. My heart bleeds for them. They get a bad rap, kind of like those healthcare CEOs. But Joey, what would we do in life in a society where I didn't give all my money to the landlord for rent? Duh, like everything wouldn't work if we had one of your idealistic anarcho-syndicalist societies where we had real democracy. Anyway, enough with that tangent rant, raving like a lunatic. It is not a sign of health to be well adjusted to a sick society, by the way, so not so much of a lunatic. I'm starting to look more and more correct as times go on in the Anthropocene 6th Great Mass Extinction. Anyway, anywho, if, like I said, compared to the Novablast 4 and 3, I really enjoy the shoe. I wasn't running long enough to be able. I was running. I think I had the Brooks Ghost. I had a really old version when I first kind of started running, but I wasn't running very much. I think 1 year I ran 100 miles, like when I was cycling more. And but from what I've experienced versus the 3 and 4, I like the Novablast 5 the most. What I could say about this shoe with this nice stack height, because a lot of people like the New Balance Rebel V4, and I do have that pair, and I have done a review on that, so you can check my older videos on it. But what I can say is,
Not sure. I'm looking at the shoe. It's not like the sticker is going to be right on there to tell me.
That's like 35 millimeter in the heel, and this is 41 and a half. And even the shoe that I'm probably going to be getting, the Adidas Evo SL.
Stack height for the Adidas Evo SL is 38.5 in the heel with a 32 in the front, giving it a 6.5 millimeter drop.
I've heard that it's kind of more intended for a specifically up-tempo kind of daily training. So I know everyone loves it or whatever, but compared to this is going to be much more intended use of a daily trainer that is you're also going to be doing your relaxed mileage in, your aerobic base building, your base. The most important thing is your consistency in your training, and you're going to want something that is probably a little less firm than that, that's intended for up-tempo miles all the time. But, going from that New Balance Rebel V4 with the 35 millimeters, which is intended for more tempo miles, as a daily trainer, like I do like them, but I have quite a few gripes with it. Going to the 40 millimeter stack height to this more plush 41.5 millimeter stack height with the 8 millimeter drop. See, got a nice bounce to it, like a basketball almost. You're just going to be able to do much more aerobic base building with these. And what I mean by that is these are just more versatile than the other two shoes I'm listing. Even though I have yet to get to the Adidas Evo SL, I'm waiting for the full red colorway with the 3 black stripes, giving a little bit of a dark Sonic Shadow vibe versus the red with the white here. I would get either or, but I'm waiting on that fully red colorway with the black stripes. If they did red and white stripes, if they did the red with the white stripes, I would get that too. So I'm going for that Sonic Shadow kind of version, but I really like the more poppy, bright colors, especially if you're running and I'm all murdered out and like a sneaky ninja all the time, looking like CIA, walking around. I want some more bright stuff that I'm going to be wearing on the outside so I can be seen more. I don't want to be like such a sneaky ninja that no one sees me and then hits me with their car or whatever. I mean, you shouldn't really have a driver's license if you can't see, if you can't see humans in the bike lane, etc. But just to make things extra safe, I do like color. It's just easier to wear a bunch of black, like from the half tights, the shorts, shirts, and then if I have different colorways for all my gear, like I do cycling, I would have to be buying way too much running clothes. I don't want to look like flying colors, like tossed crowns, running around out there. I want to, I'm trying to look cool, gothic, dark, mysterious, edgy, but with like a little bit of flair. It's kind of hard to look too gothical, mysterious, wearing black with neon shoes, but I do like some color in my shoes to pop, and I like to wear colorful hats, beanies, and like outerwear, like my gloves and shoes and socks are always fun colors. But trying to have different color everything else is just way too much to think about. Life's too short for that. I want to just get out there and run, throw on a pair of black shorts, throw on some colorful shoes and socks, and just hit him with a rad life and run them streets. So if I had overall thoughts on this, I highly recommend the shoe. This is going to be a big staple in my training going forward for my daily training miles, that I just feel really safe and comfortable in, knowing that these are going to hit basically every single time I go out there for anything I'm going to want to do. Like, yeah, I'm not going to wear this for my workout specifically. Like, I have tested this with throwing some sprints and strides and stuff in there, but like, am I going to take this out for a workout run on a track or something like that? Am I going to try to PR in these or race in these? No. But if I were to recommend someone a one shoe rotation that can do it all, say you're signing up for, which I don't recommend, by the way, I recommend at least 2 pairs of shoes. It's good to have different kinds of foams and things to target different areas of your legs, body, feet, because all the foams are a little different. They all target kind of certain areas in your feet.
Different stack heights.
And they have different...
It's healthier to not target the same muscles all the time and work different areas. Overloading stress.
Some are more firm, some are not. Like, it's just going to work different parts of your legs, muscles, and it's almost better for you to kind of switch up your shoes. And if you buy more shoes, it extends your other pairs of shoes life. So you're not like wasting money So just buying one pair of shoes, you know, and if that does lead to injuries by always running in one pair of shoes all the time, and never having different targeted
Body groups.
areas being worked from your foot to whatever, I mean, that could be more costly, but if you do have 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs of shoes in your rotation, it's going to extend all your other shoes. I have my race pair of shoes, which I just PR'd Napa Marathon. Video will be coming up in that. You probably do see a new medal and bib number on the wall back here, so peep that, but that video will be coming, new marathon PR. First time going under 7 minutes mile pace in a marathon, so I'm really excited about that. I've PR'd my last 2 marathons, so that's hella sicky wiki, hella sicka. If I were to recommend, like, you're only getting one pair of shoes for only $140, these things are on point to what you just want in just a very versatile shoe, daily trainer. $140, like, I just don't know if this can really be beat. From what I'm hearing, the Adidas Evo SL for $150, only $10 more than this. A really good daily trainer too, but I highly doubt it's going to be more comfortable than this for your relaxed daily training. I have heard some YouTubers say they wouldn't really want to take it on like long runs versus other shoes similar to this or this. We'll see. I can't wait to test the Adidas SL out. But if you were to get a one shoe rotation that could do anything from something you could work out in, do some workouts in from your where you're doing your 10 to 20% of your mileage faster in your training weeks. Sometimes if you're starting to, because those speed sessions, those more fast running miles are what's going to be more injury prone. So if you are starting to feel it, back off a little bit, just do the next week. You always want to get your long run in, which I'd recommend at least hitting 2 hours. Those adaptations you hit from hitting 2 hour long runs, there's a ton of research to back like how good it is for you. So that's your vegan bread and butter, smooth as vegan butter, got your name written all over it, that you're gonna wanna, that's what you really wanna focus on, is consistency, how many miles running per week, and your long run. If you are to the point in your running to where you can obtain hitting 2 hours every single week in your long run, you are gonna see such massive benefits in that consistent long run. And then of course before your marathon, I like to 3 weeks out, maybe a little less, 2.5 weeks out, get my last long run in, hitting like 3 hours. And the funny thing is a lot of my long runs, it's not about ego on Strava. It's about getting the long run in. It's about setting yourself up for a good race day. A lot before, like that 2-3 weeks out, sometimes when I'm kind of burnt out after maybe like my last speed workout before the marathon and like all the high mileage, I'll have like sometimes I have like a kind of a really poor long run where I'm like struggling to even maintain under 9-minute pace, elapsed, because like I'll have to like reach on my shoes a bunch, blah blah. I'll take out a certain pair of shoes, like the Alpha 3 for that long run, trying to go faster, and then I just completely bonk, just, you know, depleted of my Joey-ness energy, my Joey energy, and so it can be normal, and you can still PR during a marathon. You have to remember, it's not easy to obtain these things. Running is hard. You're not going to have motivation every day, but keeping that promise to yourself and breaking through those dark times, the mental toughness that you are going to build, and everything else you're going to be able to push through.
You're training your brain too.
That is part of the test of your training. Training is part of, not about your ego. Ego is destruction to the self. It is about setting you up for that good race day. So you're putting in all the work and the effort way of the ninja.
You're going to have to ask yourself what is more important and who you are trying to impress. Your daily upload pace on your runs on Strava, or your race day PR that you have set as a goal that you're putting all this work into to obtain. Nothing is as satisfying as hitting your goal on race day, your pace, always pushing every run that you're uploading to Strava for a faster run. Overstressing yourself might make it to where you might not even be able to make it to race day because you've got an injury now. Save those for your faster week runs in your daily training marathon block, because there is a time and a place for it in your marathon training block.
It's about getting you to race day prepped for all that stuff. It's an accumulation of everything, not just your long runs, not just your faster runs, not just your strides or sprints. It's even the recovery runs, even those 4 to 5 mile runs that you're doing,
the run the next day
after like a workout day, or like even resting, knowing when to rest. Like, recovery is part of your training, hence the taper, where you absorb all that training, all that stress, and those micro tears. Your body get a chance to re-heal, get a chance to heal, build back better, come back stronger, build back, and just make you a more fit runner than you were. We're all fit. We're just becoming fitter. It's a mindset. Can't beat yourself up,
or else you will stay and become that.
You're just setting yourself back further. So when you tell yourself these things of I am fit, even if you're not where you want to be, you can't compare yourself to others. I don't compare myself to Eliud Kipchoge or Jakob Ingebrigtsen or Jacob Kiplimo or Kelvin Kiptum when I'm running. I am enjoying the journey and the efforts I'm putting in and seeing my evolution and my growth. Novablast, across the finish line, getting a PR. Life is pain in PRs. Break PRs, not hearts. Heartbreak. Heartbreak Hill is a company that is another running company that I like to support, and they make good stuff. I will be making a video on my running gear rotation soon. There's some stuff I do want to order before that happens. So overall, like I said, this is, if I had to recommend a one shoe rotation, it'd probably be this, or currently right now, I know a lot of shoes are catching up and maybe even surpassing the Superblast 2, but this and the Superblast 2 would make a really good one shoe rotation. And if it's for your first marathon
or your first half marathon,
which I would be more than half proud of you, you can get away with doing all your runs in this. Like, I remember when I first started running, I only had a pair of Brooks Ghosts, and I used that for everything, because I just, I was just getting into it, and I didn't really look up stuff on YouTube or like how to train. I was just kind of cycling and running here and there, and so I just used that for everything. But, I built my way up to pretty much like a half marathon, I think, mostly just with those shoes. I got up to a 10K with those. I don't know if I got to my first half marathon with that, where I just did that in training by myself. That was really hard to get to, and now look at me, and now I'm getting really like better and better at the marathon, and it's becoming easier, and I'm able to suffer less in the marathon. While I'll get into that in the next video, or one of the future videos coming up on my Napa 2025 marathon. But I'm able to recover better and not feel as in pain as I typically would be, versus when I was just running myself, trying to run my first half marathon. So you could do that with this. This shoe can really is just probably it's arguably the most versatile shoe out there right now, and probably going to be on the shoe of the year list, and I would say going to podium a lot of people's. High contention would be this. For a one shoe rotation. If I were to do a 2 shoe rotation, which I would at minimum recommend, is this for your daily training and easier miles, even like your recovery, and probably either, like, if you were to keep it in the family of Asics, the Superblast 2 for your long runs, and a little bit faster, and to be able to handle your workouts better than this. For faster runs, I would recommend the Superblast 2, and then that for race day as well. Those are really those are a max stack high shoe, which can get you through most anything. But I would, if I were to only do a 2 shoe rotation, it'd either be it'd probably be this or the Superblast 2 that can handle everything as well. And then like a race day shoe, like an Alpha Fly, the new Alpha Fly 3. Or if you were to keep it in the family, I've heard so many great things, and I tried them on during the CIM Expo, and that felt like they felt amazing. Didn't get a chance to run in them. Would be the Asics Sky Paris. What I would use for race day if you were going to be intentionally trying to get something faster than like at least 3.5, 3:20, 3 hours and 20 minutes. You're gonna want a shoe that's gonna be a little faster. But like if you're kind of going for like 3:30 and to 4 hours, you probably, like, if you're a good enough runner, you definitely run a sub 3 in the hell, if you're a good enough runner, you could pretty much run a sub 3 anything. Depending like how good you are. Like Sage Candidate could probably hit a sub 3 in pretty much anything. But
Even with Rock Lee footwear and ankle weights.
you could definitely do that in a pair of Superblast 2s, depending on like how fast you are, how long you've been running. Some say you're a newer runner if you've been running anything less than 10 years. So that would definitely make me a new runner, and I'm sure a lot of you as well.
So pace yourself, have patience in this journey and training. Don't beat yourself up too much in mental and physical capacity.
That would probably be my 3 shoe rotation if I had to. This, if you were to do Asics, the Superblast 2, and the Asics Sky Paris. That would be what I would choose out of what the shoes I own, except for I don't have the Sky Paris. It would be the Alpha Fly 3, which is my new my first and second place best marathon PRs, personal records. If I had to pick only 4 pairs of shoes that I have, so I have 2 pairs of Alpha Fly 3s, one for training, one for race day. Now that my race day shoe is starting to get more mileage on them, I might start looking to get another pair for my next marathon in December, CIM 2025. I have the Superblast 1 and 2. Superblast 1 is going to get retired soon-ish. I have the Rebel V4 by New Balance, the Hoka Skyward X, and then I have the best super shoe for your easy miles recovery, also daily trainer. The Glycerin Max is just like melts away the miles. You don't want to feel the ground contact under your feet. Get a pair of those. I can't recommend that pair of shoe, the Glycerin Max, enough. They are just truly top tier, exceptional. And then my trail running shoes, which I did a YouTube Shorts review on, the Nike Zagama 2. I really love the colorway on that one. The white, orange, and green, some of my favorite colorways. So I have, like, if we're just gonna go shoe by shoe, if you minus 1 pair of the Alpha Fly 3s, because I did use it for a marathon, was the Volt colorway, but now it's just a training pair that I use for faster miles. And so those and the Superblasts 1, the original version, the OG, those are going to get retired sooner rather than later. If I had to have just a 4 shoe rotation out of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs of shoes that I have in my rotation, not including the Volt colorway, training workout pair I have for the Alpha Fly 3. So I would be including the Nike Alpha Fly 3 Crimson Guava, the white Guava Red. Black pair I have would be my race day shoe. So out of these 8 shoes, I would pick my easy to recovery miles is going to be the Glycerin Max. Sorry, I'm looking at my shoes on the rack. Would be my easy recovery day. My much slower miles, if I'm really starting to feel it in long weeks where I'm running 50 to 80 miles. I hit over 100 miles once in a week before. I was using the Gel Nimbus a lot. I think it was like Gel Nimbus 25 when it came out. It was definitely a heaven sent at that point. So it would be the Glycerin Max for my easy to recovery. This for my daily trainer miles. where you can do anything from your tempo to your daily training, relaxed miles, and long runs. Then I would have my specific long run to a little bit faster shoe when I'm kind of going for like a longer, faster session on a long run. Would be the Novablast 2, which is another like shoe of the year for a lot of people. Extremely versatile pair of shoes, max stack height, very, very protective, and more firm, faster miles. But you don't feel it as much. Especially since I really enjoy they don't have the Hitchhiker's Rock Catcher 3000 on the bottom with that extra weight like the original version that has all the holes that catch like seeds. And I mean, I appreciate bringing seeds home to plant, but and then I'd be wearing those for my specific long run, and then race day pair of shoes, and probably like 1 to 2 workouts before your race day, especially since you want to get to know what shoe you're going to be running into race day. Nothing new on race day would be my Alpha Fly 3. That would be my 4 shoe rotation: Glycerin Max, Novablast 5, Superblast 2, Alpha Fly 3. That would be like what I would recommend if you're taking with a very intentional, serious marathon training plan, is to have a 4 shoe rotation at minimum. And I recommend even more. You could be spending your money on a lot worse things like alcohol
and other expensive stuff and thingies that is going to set your training back, isn't conducive to your health.
But just to have the diversity of area, every once in a while, it's nice to make a recovery run into a lighter trail run, which I've been doing recently, even before my marathon. I did kind of too much on some of those trail runs I've done somewhere recently. Almost twisted an ankle and kind of did tweak my inner right knee a little bit. So that was a little risky. Maybe you don't want to do like any technical long trail runs before your marathon. I wasn't exactly being the sharpest marble in the bag at that point. Something is so resetting, refreshing, liberating, and free and fun about getting out on the trails. So I would recommend even having 5 pairs of shoes, like a trail pair of shoes, even if you're only running trails once every 2 weeks. I mean, those miles add up over 6 months. So just think about that. And you're taking a few extra miles away from your other pair of shoes. So my Nike's Agama 2s have taken away, 60 miles off my other pairs of shoes just by, hey, you know what? Screw it. I want to go out on the trails today. Or like if you're a hybrid athlete and you should be doing strength training. So when I backed away from my strength training till now is I've been upping my strength training more in the last 2 to 3 times I've been doing my full body strength training routine. Is you're going to build stronger muscles and joint protection, ligaments through that kind of resistance training, like cycling, is going to help you from injury prevention. So it's just like, and it's just fun to go up the mountains like a goat, So it's fun to be a jackalope and all, but you want to be a goat every once in a while too, and climb those mountains and hit those peaks. I've been to the top of every mountain you've seen around here in Sonoma County and beyond. So from bottom to top. And that is fun to say. So I'm kind of looking like a rabid raccoon before bedtime doing this review, and like I said, this has been a shoe I've recommended to a lot of people at work who ask me about running. I can't recommend the shoe enough. This right now is my top daily trainer that I've had in a long time. The best recovery easy mile shoe for daily training miles, the Glycerin Max. I really do like the Skyward X. I feel like the lockdown and the way it loosens though, some of the fit sometimes, I don't like it as much as it's nowhere near as much as the Glycerin Max. Although I did really love that at one point. I don't think it's just me. I think it's, like I do love that shoe, but at the same time, I've got my issues with it. I can almost like not think of anything wrong with the Glycerin Max. Nike's Agama 2, like I was saying in my shorts review, I just didn't really feel like doing a complete review of that. You can look up my short review on it. The basic point I was getting to is it is like a max stack height shoe that is bouncy and comfortable, max stack cushion that is really grippy. Like it made like a suction cup noise when I was running in the mud, and like it was kind of crazy. It was some beautiful runs I had out there. And those easier technical trails, they are amazing. Like but they're like, you know, they're gonna be a lot chunkier. They're gonna be some more chunky max stack cushion comfortable shoes that, like, if I were training for ultra marathons, I'm going to be hitting a lot of miles in those, that, and they have a good, a surprising amount of spring bounce to them than I would have thought. Very comfortable, true size. Sometimes they loosen a little bit, have to retie after some mileage, but I mean, you're also doing a lot more, not just straight like running, you're doing a lot more kind of like foot placement, almost like, you know, like mountain biking. You're always like shifting your body to have 50% gravity. I'll be running like this down the hills as I'm trail running, like I'm holding my handlebars on mountain biking.
Brap,
Like,
brap, brap.
that's how much fun you're having when you're getting out and switching up from road to trail. So get out there on the trails too. It's also good different absorption of a softer ground versus pavement. So yeah, that would be what I'd recommend. So I guess what I'd recommend ideally is a 5-shoe rotation. But if you're just setting up for your first half marathon to marathon, I would at least get 3 pairs. If you just want to go run and finish your first marathon, you could do those in a lot pair of shoes. I would not recommend running a full marathon in anything that's too fast of a shoe, that's not like comfortable and cushion enough. But like in slower miles, you're just wasting your money on something like an Alpha Fly 3 or an Asics Sky Paris. Like those are meant for faster miles. You're not gonna even feel good running slow miles in those. Like they just don't. They're literally not meant for that. You're not even gonna have a good time. You're gonna feel just bad running in those. So they're definitely more mid to forefoot striking. You want to strike under your knee, by the way. You don't want to overextend. That's how you get injuries. It's okay to heel strike. I mean, you always want to preferably land under your knee, like here, where you want to land, not out here with that overextension. And it is recommended to strike more in the middle. So like you don't want to be as much back here or too in the front. That's too overloading those two areas. So
There are differing opinions on this, and there are pros that do heel strike. Your main concern is overextending, and you just want to make sure that you're landing under your knee.
that's my shoe review on this. Is very happy with these. The laces are also, before I forget, nothing too special, but I haven't had any issues with lockdown in these. On the first couple runs, just for testing, I always do a first easier run without the runner's knot, and so I noticed them coming a little loose with the lockdown. So I typically do put everything in the runner's knot. I think I've done a video on that. If not, I will make a short video on how to do a runner's knot. I think I've done one before in like a vlog type video like I'm doing now, / review. But if not, I'll have to do a YouTube short on how I lace. It's only, the tongue isn't gusseted. It's only kind of like attached at the bottom, like a quarter of the way up each. But it's got this to hold it with the laces, this middle loop, to keep it more in place. So I haven't had too much of an issue like I did with some of my other shoes. It's a fairly thin tongue. I like this tongue. It's not too padded, it's not too thin. I like the material more than like I was talking about in the Rebel V4. It's very cushioned in the heel, It's got a nice heel lockdown because it kind of has a cavernous back mound for your heel back here that helps it kind of stay from coming up out of the rear of the shoe with a nice deep cup for your heel. It's got a little bit of arch support, and this is a breathable upper. Like I said, this is more lightweight than the 4 was, so that's an upgrade. The upper, you can through the mesh thin circles see my finger through it during those parts only, so it is very breathable, very comfortable. I've been yapping too long, as I tend to do. I'm going to wrap this review up. Like I said, highly recommend the shoe. This is right now my top pick for daily trainer. You can't go wrong with this. This is true to size, although it's still typical to Asics Novablast. Runs a little bit long, but other than that, it's a pretty nice lockdown and everything. Fits you kind of like a sock in a lot of areas that are going to make you kind of nimble, not too tight, not too loose, Goldilocks style. And so it is going to be a little more nimble in that way. I'd say definitely true to size. For me,
A smidge long in the toe
you
box.
don't want to risk blisters, getting anything too big or too tight rubbing. So this is my top pick right now for daily trainer. I'll let you know what I think in the future and keep you updated on where the shoes are. There are a few shoes out of my rotation, as you probably heard from my rotation video. I'll probably, once I get more shoes for my next training blocks, I'll do another video on what my running shoe rotation is at the time, and I'm gonna do some more videos. I have some other stuff in mind, like my clothing rotation. I'm gonna do some videos on my socks, tights, shorts, all my running apparel, from even the hats and beanies and stuff, and give you my insights on those. But as of right now, I'm a half-tight convert. So anyway, anything helps out the channel. It is much appreciated to like, comment, and subscribe. That is what's going to help this channel grow the most, is subscriptions. It's free to do, takes 1 second.
And is a huge tailwind and much appreciated to channels like mine.
Keep running rad, have fun, be safe, and enjoy your runs out there. And until the next time, Pineapple Leaf, peace out, bye.